This is the Bates Bobcast, our weekly podcast where we take a look at the week that was in Bates athletics. My name is Aaron Morrison. This week we are celebrating the men's track and field team taking back the Maine State Outdoor Championship from Bowdoin. Plus, the softball and baseball teams won NESCAC games in thrilling fashion, and the men's club ice hockey team just returned from China. All that and more coming up on the Bates Bobcast. After starting 0-4, the Bates baseball team is over the 500 mark for the first time this season after the Bobcats defeated Thomas College 16-3 on Monday to improve their record to 13-12. Of course, the biggest win over the past week came on Friday when the Bobcats defeated Bowdoin 3-2, improving to 4-3 in NESCAC East Division play. Junior captain Jack Aaron smacked a 2 RBI single in the 7th inning to give Bates the lead for good, and junior Nolan Collins tossed a complete Game 5 hitter to earn his 5th win of the season. After the win, we caught up with head coach John Martin.
Nolan's our guy. I mean, he's a bulldog. He wants the ball. He wants to compete. He loves the light on him. He loves the action. Nolan is a true competitor, and I think his competitive juices took over today. Trusted his stuff. His fastball had a little life on it, which is usual for him. And he, you know what? He did what he wanted to do with the slider for the most part. He would back it up on a righty if he wanted. He'd bury it on a righty if he wanted. Back foot lefties a couple times. I mean, he had both of those pitches that he felt like he could throw at any count to any hitter, and that's what got him through. He did a great job.
Bowdoin got a couple runs in the first inning. After that, it was lights out. Did he make any adjustments, do you notice, or was that just a matter of maybe finding a little bit less of the plate?
I think he was maybe just kind of overthrowing a little bit early because he felt good and just kind of left pitches in the zone. I mean, to string 4 hits together with 2 outs is really hard to do, and I think there's some luck involved in that too. And I think he just left a couple pitches over that got in there, and that's all it was.
And then what at bat by Justin White right before Aaron's base hit there in the 7th, right, drawing that walk. I mean, this guy just grinds out at bats, and you have him in the leadoff spot for a reason, I guess, right?
Yeah, we did. You, amongst other people, question that, but we, you just got to trust that we have an idea of what we're doing. Yeah. But he just battles, man. He just battles, and he's not scared to hit with 2 outs. He's not scared to hit with 2 strikes. Whitey knows how to hit, and I have confidence in him when he gets up to the plate that he can get a job done. And he did it today. And then Aaron, known for his patience, draws a lot of walks, jumped on that first pitch to rip the single there, right? Yeah, Jack's been locked in all season. Yeah. And it seems like if he's not drawing a walk, he's finding a way to get on base somehow, some way. So obviously, we wanted those 2 guys up in spots, but he did an awesome job behind the dish also today. For them, Lopez retired the first 9 batters he faced, and you guys seem to figure it out, right? Yeah, 5 strikeouts too. Yeah, he's a good pitcher. Yeah. I mean, he's fastball slider guy, and he was down. He was throwing strikes. He kind of he'll quick pitch you. He'll hesitate a little bit and kind of try to throw you off. And we were just able to get into him in a couple big spots that we needed to. So it was good. It was a nice job. On Monday, the NESCAC honored Collins by naming him the NESCAC Pitcher of the Week for the 2nd time this season. Collins matched his career high with 8 strikeouts against the Polar Bears, and he has been the winning pitcher in 2 of Bates' 4 NESCAC East wins this season. We chatted with Collins in the dugout after Bates' win Monday over Thomas.
We started off just all fastballs pretty much, and they just started swinging first pitch and getting some hits. But once I started mixing my curveball and slider in, it was pretty automatic. It was fun. It was great. Everyone played well, and it just all came together.
1-run game, obviously. 9th inning, you're back out there trying to get that complete game we've talked about before. First guy reaches base. What's going through your mind?
I was like, here we go again. But no, I just knew that if I kept making pitches, I'd be able to do all right. But it really just comes down to being able to throw strikes in those situations and having the mental ability to do it too. It's good.
Jack Aaron is over there making some noises, trying to distract us. We've had Jack on the show before, of course. You work with him; he's his roommate. Yeah. What's it like having him behind the plate?
Oh, it's great. He works hard. He limits pass balls. He throws guys out. He's a really good all-around catcher, And we have a really good relationship. We kind of just know which, like, our sequencing. Like, if he didn't even put down signs, I would be throwing what he wants me to throw. So it's just really good chemistry, good relationship, and it really pays off on weekends.
We've talked about how, trying to make that NESCAC tournament, obviously Tufts and Trinity both off to really good starts. Doubleheader against Bowdoin on Saturday postponed to May. That means you probably get to face them again, right? I would imagine.
Yeah. That's I haven't had a conversation with Coach about it, but I think that's the plan. So that would be a good, just get another NESCAC start and then just better stats for it.
When you face a team for like a second time, what, as a pitcher, do you know they've seen you before? Do you have to make some adjustments, or do you just trust what you normally do?
Personally, I feel more comfortable pitching to a team that I've seen before, just because I know hitters would probably say that about a pitcher they've seen before too, but it's just because like weaknesses, holes in their swings, just kind of anything that leaves them vulnerable. So, and Jack and I, we pay attention to that kind of stuff. So, and so do the coaches. So, I'm not too worried about them like catching on to what I'm doing. I think if I just pitch my game, we'll be able to get out of it. So. And
we're talking right after this Monday game, a convincing win for the Bobcats over Thomas College. You got to sit back and watch, and it was great to see a lot of guys get in there, right?
Oh yeah, it was good. Everyone got some time. We got the bats going a little bit, so it was nice. It's good. It's a good start to the week, honestly. Just having guys go out there midweek and dominate, it's always a good sign.
And then Foley, who got the start, he was rolling there for a bit too. What did you see from him?
A lot of strikes. He was coming out of his hand nice. He's been pitching really well for us this year, and it's important that we have that on weekends. So nice tune-up for him, and he looked good. So.
It seems like the starters for the Bobcats, especially the weekend starters in NESCAC play, like yourself and Foley and whatnot, you guys really do pound the strike zone. Not too many walks out there, right?
That's our goal. That's Coach Martin's thing, is throw strikes, good thing will happen. Keep it at the knees. That's what he says. So and it works. So that's what we're going after.
You guys have a midweek game coming up here Wednesday against Southern Maine. They're one of the top-ranked teams in the country. Yeah. Well, this is not like your typical midweek game, I suppose, right? What are you looking forward to this?
Yeah, it'll be good to see. It'll be good to see how we compete against them. They're a really good ball club. They can swing it. They have good arms. But hopefully, I think we'll be able to hang with them. They shouldn't be. I mean, any team can play with anyone on any day, and I think we're good enough to hang with them and give them a run. So. And
that's probably a good thing for the hitters, just to see some really high-quality pitching before some more NESCAC games here this weekend, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's always good to see good competition, especially right before a big conference series. So I'm excited for it. I mean, I think I'm interested to see how we do, so it should be good.
Any other thoughts on your first career 9-inning complete game here at Bates?
It was fun. I mean, just going out there and doing it all yourself, it's all right. But obviously the fielding behind us is good. Yeah. So it's good just going out there and being able to throw strikes and get through a game against a team like that. It's just a lot of fun. That's the main thing. It's just I love it. So.
Nolan Collins, he is once again the NESCAC Pitcher of the Week. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Aaron.
After a rough start to the season, the Bates softball team has won 8 of its last 11 games, and they are 4-4 in NESCAC East play. This past week saw the Bobcats sweep the University of Southern Maine in a Wednesday doubleheader. Then Bates defeated UMaine Farmington 4-1 on Thursday, before splitting a NESCAC East Division doubleheader with Trinity on Friday. After dropping Game 1 4-2, Bates bounced back in style, winning 3-2 in Game 2 on a walk-off single from senior Andrea Russo. Leading 1-0 heading into the 7th inning, the Bobcats surrendered a pair of runs, falling behind 2-1 with just 3 outs remaining. But a Mary Collette RBI single tied the game before Russo won it with her single up the middle. Head coach McKell Barnes was thrilled.
Holy moly. I could not be more proud of them. The first game, it was a little tough of a game, and in between games we challenged them to come back and just be better, be yourself, because they're so great. So just be yourself, and they did, and I couldn't be more proud of them. I mean, got a little testy there in the 7th inning, right, top of the 7th, and we give up, the 1-run lead against a good team, and it would be so easy for them to crumble, and they didn't, and I just am so proud of them.
What was the message maybe between innings, or was there any message perhaps between the top and bottom half?
It was simply just don't stop. Yeah. Don't stop. I mean, everything you've done to this point in this game has been great. And don't stop. And believe and will yourself right here. And they did.
For sure. Last year I know you had a couple close ones with Trinity. Today, obviously, the first game, it looks like fell behind 4-0, but then rally a little bit, cut the lead to 4-2 at least. What was the difference maybe between the first inning of the first game and the rest of the entire doubleheader, I guess?
I mean, you could just feel a difference, and I don't know if I can put my thumb on anything in particular, but you could just feel a difference. I think the energy, the belief, the support, the camaraderie with amongst each other, it just felt different from the very beginning, and that was what we challenged them in between games to do, and they brought it. We left a lot of runs on base in that first game, and KP had one tough inning in that first inning there, and then she locked in after that. But this is such a game of emotion, and to be able to control your emotions and to be able to will yourself into the emotions that really ignite that passion and that fervor to win was really something special to see.
Well, speaking of, Kristen Pelletier, KP, she's throwing both halves of the doubleheader. She hasn't done that previous years typically, right? So this is kind of new for her, but clearly she's doing pretty well with it, right?
Yeah. Gosh, I mean, she just digs deep, and whatever gas she has in the tank, she gives it her all. And that's, we know that's coming every pitch, every game, doubleheaders, that's what we expect of her, and that's what she expects of herself, and we need that from her.
How about that double play in game 2? Bats coming in from center field to cover second?
Yes.
That was something.
Yes. We knew that was definitely a high percentage bunt play, and so moving our outfielders into, with our corners charging and a couple runners on base, we knew it was important that we have all of our bases covered. And Caroline's speed, you can't teach, and that's a game-changing play right there. Julia to make the play and then to think secondary to then get that second out is also fantastic. I mean, start to finish on that play. KP has to hit the pitch too.
Yeah.
That's where it's got to actually start, and she's got to hit the pitch to be able to have them pop it up, and she did. And start to finish on that play, absolutely fantastic. I mean, one of the best plays that I've seen since I've been here.
And the walk-off hit, Connecticut native beating the team from Connecticut, that's must be pretty nice, right?
And you know what? I know that felt so good for her.
Yeah.
And she's worked so hard, as we've always said, and for her to be the only senior to come up in that situation, I just had a feeling. I just knew it was going to happen. And I think everyone else did too, and that's really special.
All right, McKell Barnes, thanks so much.
Thanks, Aaron.
Russo is hitting .371 with a .450 on-base percentage, tops on the team. She went 7 for 15 at the plate last week with 4 runs scored and 3 RBIs. And Andrea Russo is our female Bobcat of the week. Andrea, we talked right after the game, after your game-winning hit against Trinity. Since that has happened, a few days have passed by. What are your thoughts on it? Now looking back on that doubleheader and what the team was able to accomplish. The first game falling behind, making it close there at the end, and the second game prevailing.
The more I look back at the Trinity series, the more and more I wish we did take that first one as well.
Sure.
It was a close game, and what ended up happening was that it seemed like there were just a lot of hits that didn't really come together like they did in the second game. And that's something that, sometimes it falls your way and the game goes how it does in your favor. But it's just looking back, seeing like, okay, all the pieces were there for that first game, and how they just did end up coming together for the second one is awesome. And hopefully that momentum carries us through this huge NESCAC weekend we have coming up.
Sure, and then obviously you had the game-winning hit in Game 2, but that wouldn't have happened without your teammates getting on base beforehand, including a couple of first years there with Pagan and Sato, and it's great to see them really contributing, huh?
Yeah, that's like an example of how everything just kind of came together in that moment.
Yeah.
And I love seeing everyone on the team contribute to our wins, and especially the freshmen too, and for them to be getting that pressure situation experience is awesome and can only benefit the team and their future as Bates Bobcats.
Sure. And then a sophomore, Mary Collette, I'm looking at the stats, and she's over 300 batting average. She's really contributing as well, isn't she?
Yeah, she's really improved, and she does work extremely hard. And this year I've seen her switch more from thinking about I'm a catcher, this is what I do, and her moving into more of the utility, playing first base. Like she's athletic, and she's doing an awesome job at first. And for her to also see now she's focusing on hitting even more too, and the amount of work that she's putting into hitting is really contributing and paying off.
And then you personally have a kind of a new role in terms of you're more middle of the lineup now. How's that been going?
Yeah, the coaches have been saying that where I am in the lineup, I'm the second leadoff, and I've really taken to that, and I've enjoyed that position a lot because I don't know, like I've never really been in that one before. I think a lot of the times it's been either one or two, or even at the bottom of the lineup. But now with the middle, it's more fun. I feel like I have more freedom to choose what I want to do. It's not like, okay, like I'm batting 2. If the person in front of me gets on, I'm gonna have to bunt. Now I'm coming in and I get to see, okay, well, like now I'm looking around. And I'm like, okay, maybe now would be a good time for a bounce slap. I see like the middle infielders are playing kind of back, like yada yada, and like I don't know. I just feel like I have more freedom and I feel like I'm able to have more fun in that position because it's not as much of a pressure situation as it was before. Of like, okay, like I need to do X, Y, and Z no matter what. I gotta come in and be like, okay, well, like coach has to get the bunt down. I guess like that's what I'm doing right now. Whereas like in another situation, it's like, okay, I'm gonna have to try and get one through, like get a hit to go through the infielder, poke one through, and it's just been a lot more fun, and then also the more RBI opportunities.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So this weekend, obviously massive weekend. You've got 3 with Bowdoin. You've got one more then with Trinity because one of the games got moved there to this Sunday. So 4 NESCAC games in 3 days, including your senior day. What are your thoughts on this upcoming weekend?
I'm excited. I hope the rain holds off. But yeah, no, I'm really excited because it's just getting through. Well, first off, excited to play those Bowdoin games because I think it was Trinity that beat Bowdoin. So that'd be fun to see what happens. And then also those games are usually where everyone's like high intensity, high energy, and it's just the classic rivalry that comes into play. And also it's just knowing that these are extremely important games when it comes to standings. That makes me excited to see how everyone rises up to the challenge and see how we all come together and play together this weekend. It makes me really excited to think about.
Certainly, and Kirsten Pelletier, I interviewed her a couple weeks back. She said Bowdoin's going down this year.
Oh, yeah.
Similar thoughts on your end?
Yeah, I agree. I would love to take that series. Yeah, no, it would be great. But that's the thing, too, though. It's one thing at a time. And take one game, take the first game, that single game, and the next day just think about getting that first one of the doubleheader and then saying, okay, well, we did that job, and then might as well get the third.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's ideally how it would go. And then after that, have to take that one from Trin. Right. But other than that, I think we can definitely do it. We've done it last year, and they've graduated so many seniors. So I'm interested to see what kind of Bowdoin team we're playing this year.
Should be exciting. It's Andrea Russo, our female Bobcat of the week. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you.
The track and field teams stayed in state this weekend, with the women hosting the Aloha Relays and the men making the 45-minute trip to Brunswick for the 120th Maine State Men's Outdoor Track and Field Championships. The women placed second out of 8 teams, winning 7 events along the way. Meanwhile, the men knew they were in for a tough challenge. Bowdoin had won the previous 2 outdoor state championships, but this time, the Bobcats prevailed by 4 points. Sophomore John Rex took home the Frederick Tootle Memorial Most Valuable Field Athlete Award for winning the hammer, the discus, and the shot put. But the event that swung the meat on Saturday was the second-to-last race of the afternoon, the 5K. With 4 Bowdoin seniors in the mix, including a cross-country All-American, first-year Bart Rust emerged victorious in a time of 15 minutes, 10.19 seconds, picking up a crucial 10 points for Bates. Rust also took second place earlier in the day in the 3,000-meter steeplechase to teammate Nico Johnson. And Bart Rust is our male Bobcat of the week. So we get to that 5K. Going into it, did you know kind of where the team was within points and stuff like that?
I had a general idea. I knew it was close,
Yeah.
And I knew Bowdoin had a lot of guys that can definitely score points. Like all those guys are very good runners. I knew and then our team as well. We had very good opportunities to come away with points and just kind of secure our position. I knew we were up, but I didn't know how much exactly, and I didn't know how much I think we were up at least. I don't know. Going into it, I thought we were up.
Yeah.
But I just like I was just do whatever I can, see what I have left in that last lap, and hopefully it works out. And it worked out all right. But yeah, going into it, all the Bowdoin guys who weren't running were like, "This is it, guys. This is the meet. This is where you'll win it." And I was like, "All right, well, now I've got to step up and kind of ruin some people's day." But I'll have fun doing it. So.
Well, the steeplechase, that involves water, right?
Yeah.
So how'd that race go? Obviously, you got second to your teammate there, Nico Johnson.
So we both Nico and I knew we had to double back later. So we kind of went in with we had a plan. He was trying. We were earlier this season. I set myself up with a pretty good time for the NESCAC qualifying and stuff, just to make sure I was in a fast heat going into which will be this coming weekend.
Yeah.
So Nico was going for that same kind of goal, try to get a quicker time, make sure he's safe in that quick heat for NESCACs. Because we knew going in, the competition in the steeple wasn't crazy tough. Like we kind of knew it was going to be the two of us working together and kind of taking home those 18 points. So it didn't really. I mean, for me, it didn't really matter how we got those points. As long as we get those points, we're doing our job. So yeah, we kind of went out. I tried to pace him through 1,000 meters, let him go for his time, and then from there I was kind of conserving and trying to make sure I was ready for that 5K, which I knew was going to be a battle.
Excellent. So how'd you spend your time between the two races? What were you doing?
A lot of jogging around, trying to stay warm. Because when I woke up on Saturday morning, it was really warm on campus, and then we drove the 40 minutes to Bowdoin. I was like, oh man, it's colder than I thought. I hadn't brought quite enough warm clothing, but sitting in the stands watching the track events and stuff, cheering on teammates. I took my turn taking a couple of splits for other races with the stopwatch. Mainly just trying to do everything I can to make sure I was ready for the 5K coming up, and to make sure I was involved in the getting the team ready for everything they had coming up.
Yeah, so for you personally, from your approach, you didn't really want to have that lead until the final lap. Is that fair to say? Or
I was okay with Bates being in the front and us and taking turns on the front. I know Jeremy took that first 1,000. Justin did an awesome job kind of pulling the middle all the way through till about, I don't know, probably a mile to go, and then I took a turn at the front for a bit before, and I was totally prepared to lead that last mile if that's what it came down to. But one of the Bowdoin guys, Sean McDonald, made a strong move at 700 meters, and I knew, well, this is his move. I just need to stick on to him and just hang in there and hope I can make it another lap and then give it everything I have left. So he passed me with 700. I sat in until about 300 to go, and then swung wide and probably passed him with 200 or 250 or 200 to go. And I don't really know how close he was. He ended up finishing 2 seconds back, but it was loud on that final stretch. I had no idea how close he was, so I was, I wasn't going to save anything, and just kind of left it all there. So,
Is the final 200 meters kind of a blur, sort of?
Kind of. Yeah. I remember hearing one of the Bowdoin assistant coaches screaming, "Come on, Sean, you just got to stick with him. You got him. And I was like, I hope he doesn't have me, but if he does, I'm gonna make it hurt.
Yeah,
we're gonna make him actually get me. I'm not gonna let him get me. So, because he's he's a very good racer, very good runner. He was All-American in cross country. So, I think all the Bowdoin people kind of expected him to have me. But I was just not gonna save anything. I think. He was in front of me with 400 to go, and I closed in 62 seconds for that last lap. So he closed in 64, which is usually good enough which is a very good kick, and usually enough to close it out if you've got the lead. But wasn't just gonna let him have it. So took it.
Exactly. This race is interesting because it's technically an individual event, but it sounds like it's a real team effort out there.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not just the guys racing in terms of that team effort. Obviously having guys with you, they're just kind of we work out together every day. We run together every day. So just knowing how they race, how they run, and how you run with them, it's kind of it's relaxing and makes it a lot easier. To kind of just sit in, stay relaxed, because it's 5K is a pain fest and just filled with like a lot of adrenaline. But at the same time, you need to realize, okay, I'm on this track for 3.1 miles. I should probably, take a couple breaths, calm down a little bit, and just wait. The race will come to us. So it was really great having all those guys, like having the guys on the track. But I remember just going around and seeing like every single one of my teammates standing on the infield. I'd see them on the back stretch. I'd come around and I'd hear them on the home stretch. So and every time I kept like accidentally making eye contact with people. I wasn't really trying to. I would just glance over and like I just lock eyes with one of my teammates. And a couple times I couldn't help smiling because I was like, this is a ton of fun. This is the energy that that's just so fun to race in. So I mean that was great just having everyone there. Like I mean it was loud too. Yeah. So you weren't listening too much to like what's going on right with you. So it was again another distraction from kind of what you're even at a time when you're not necessarily trying to be distracted, but any little bit helps,
Right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Bart Rust, Male Bobcat of the Week. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much for having me.
On Monday, the NESCAC rewarded the Bobcats' incredible depth in the throws by naming senior Tyler Harrington the men's field performer of the week. Harrington scored a combined 26 team points over 4 events, winning the javelin throw, placing second to teammate John Rex in the shot put, finishing third in the hammer, and fifth in the discus. NESCAC Field Performer of the Week, Tyler Harrington, with us here on the Bobcast. And Tyler, a PR for you in the shot put. Got second to your teammate Johnny Rex in that event, the Maine State meet. Bunch of other great performances as well, but tell us about the shot put and what was really clicking for you.
Yeah, I mean, the last few weeks I've been hitting that throw pretty well in practice, so I just kind of put it together in a meet, and it finally came together with my last throw. I was kind of frustrated earlier in the meet with it, and when I finally hit it, I was pretty excited. So it was great to move up from, I think, 5th to 2nd on that throw. So it was a big throw for us, and it was great. So.
Right. I mean, even like one throw, one throw can swing a meet because what, a 4-point difference between the teams?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it was a really close meet, and everybody did a great job all over the track and all in the throws and the jumps and everything like that. But I think all the performances, everybody did their job when we got it done. I mean, 4 points is like a really slim margin in a track meet.
It's interesting. I feel like, in your career, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you had the most immediate success in probably the javelin, and you've kind of grown in the other throwing events. How has that process gone for you through 4 years?
Yeah, I think early on in my career, freshman, sophomore year, I was more of a javelin-focused guy, and I think that's how I wanted to be. But I think as, junior and senior year now, and how I've gotten older here, I've really started to focus on the other events and really started to really look at those events as something I can improve on and something I can score in important meets. So it's really nice to, score in all those events at the state meet especially, and it's really nice to start moving up in those as well.
I feel like the mechanics of these events are totally, completely different. I mean, the javelin is nothing like the other throws, right?
Yeah, I mean, javelin's really different. The hammer is extremely different than the shot and disc. I mean, shot and disc have the same motion, the spin, but, they're different events as it is too. So it's really interesting trying to work on all the different events. It's kind of cool going through all those different technical, routes.
And then, winning the state title in the javelin, that's obviously, a special thing. It wasn't necessarily a PR, but still winning the state title, it's all about the points at this point, right?
Yeah, I mean, winning the state title is definitely something that I strive for every year in the javelin, and it's definitely awesome to win it again this year. And, it wasn't a PR, but, it was a good throw, my best throw of this year so far. So, I'll take that and something to build on for the coming meets, so.
Sure. NESCAC Championship's coming up. Are you going to be, what events, all 4 again? Or?
Yeah, I'm going to be doing the jav. I'm going to be doing discus and hammer because jav and shot put, they conflict time period. Okay. So, yeah, it would be easier just to do jav and disc and hammer. So that'll be fun. It'll be a fun meet.
I guess that shows how different the events are. They just overlap.
Yeah, exactly. They're probably like different parts of the track too. And it's probably just it'd be tough.
And then how about your teammate? Johnny Rex winning the MVP there at States, taking home the top spot in, the discus, the shot put, and the hammer throw. He must be inspiring to see as a sophomore.
Yeah, it's great. Johnny's awesome. He worked super hard, all through last year, all through the summer, and this year he's been really improving. And it's just great to see him, seeing him go big in all the events. It gives us all motivation as the rest of the team. Just we can follow up with that and give good performances as well. So.
I feel like for outdoors, a little bit more variety for you guys, a little bit more, what do you prefer it over indoors because there's more opportunities for, events to participate in?
Yeah, I mean, outdoors, I get 4 events to participate in. Indoors, only 2. So, right. I mean, it's nice to get a couple more events, and indoors, if you have, one bad event, you only have 1 more to go. And outdoors, I have 1 bad event, I have 3 more to maybe improve on or, do well in. So it's nice having all 4, and all 4 are pretty different. So it's really fun to see what I can do in all of them.
For you, this must be a nice bookend because your first year here, Bates won the outdoor title. Yeah. Next 2, Bowdoin took it back, and it must be nice as a senior to wrestle that title away, huh?
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, as a team, it was one of our big goals for this whole season was to win the outdoor state title, and we got done indoor this season, and we wanted to keep the trophy here and win it outdoors, and take it away from a really good Bowdoin team was really nice, and everybody contributed. Everybody did a really good job, and I'm just really happy that we brought it back. So.
You were doing so many events. Did you get a chance to watch anyone else?
Yeah, one race I watched was Bart Rust 5K.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he won Bobcat of the Week this week, and that race was amazing. He held off a bunch of senior Bowdoin runners who were I think a few of them were all Americans. So watching him compete there and take home first in that race was amazing, and it was just really exciting to watch him.
And that was the second to last event, right?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I think it was really close then too, and we needed that race, and Bart did a really good job. So.
Lots of performances up and down, lots of honors being earned by the Bobcats this week. Tyler Harrington, thank you so much for joining us. NESCAC Field Performer of the Week.
Thank you.
The men's tennis team is 3-2 in NESCAC play after a week that saw the Bobcats win 7-2 at Trinity before falling to national powerhouses Amherst and Middlebury. The Bobcats host rival Bowdoin Tuesday at 4 p.m., and they wrap up the regular season at Tufts on Wednesday and at Williams on Sunday. Meanwhile, the women's tennis team is 3-3 in NESCAC play after a 2-2 week that saw the Bobcats win a 5-4 thriller at Trinity and defeat rival Colby on Monday by a count of 8-1. Monday marked senior captain Bella Stone's final home match, and she made the most of it. Stone and first-year Anna Rosen combined to win 8-2 at number 1 doubles, and Stone rolled to a 6-2, 6-love win at number 2 singles. We caught up with Stone right after her singles victory. Well, Bella, this being your final home match, obviously Bobcats have clinched it here with 5 points already. But what were your thoughts on the matches today, starting outdoors for doubles and moving indoors here to singles?
Yeah, I think as a team we had a really great start, high energy. We came out strong in doubles. So coming out with a lead 2-1 into singles is always a good thing. But I think, moving inside can sometimes be tough, but I think we really handled it well. And all of us came out really strong in singles, and it was just fun to be out there with everyone.
I know as a senior you've battled a lot of injuries throughout your career, so it seems like you've been pretty healthy this season. What's it been like, being able to play every match pretty much?
Yeah, no, it's been awesome.
Yeah.
It was definitely tough last season, but this year I've been able to recover more, and it's been fun to be able to compete with my team and be out there with everyone. And yeah, it's just a great way to end my career and especially the last home match, having the win. It's been great, especially with this group of girls. They're a great group of girls, and we really compete well together.
I was going to say, you're the captain of this team, so what's that experience been like?
Yeah, no, it's been awesome. I'm so lucky because the team has been amazing, and it's a special group of girls that not everyone gets this experience. So it's been a privilege to lead them and to be able to be their captain.
We were watching your match as we were commenting how powerful your serve was today. What was that clicking for you out there?
Yeah, no, my serve was feeling good today. Yeah. My serve is probably one of my favorite shots, so I was glad that it was working out today. Yeah, I felt good.
And then for doubles, you've been working with a couple different people this year, but who are you working with recently?
Yeah, so now I'm with Anna. Mm-hmm. She's a freshman, and it's really fun to play with her. And even though she's a freshman, you wouldn't even know it because she's super calm, cool, collected, and just great to play with.
Well, you were someone, when you were a first year, you came in and played right away up near the top of the lineup, and so you could probably relate to what she's going through a little bit, right?
Yeah, totally. It's definitely hard, but she makes it look so easy, and she's been really good this season and been a really strong member of our team.
So this being your last home match, what's going through your mind right now? I mean, you're all wrapped up. You just won your singles match.
I know, it's crazy. It's definitely a little nostalgic, a little sad. Mm-hmm. I've spent a lot of time in Merrill, but I mean, the 4 years have gone by so fast, and it is going to be sad leaving, but my experience overall has been amazing, so I'm just happy with the way my tennis career has gone here.
And you've still got some more matches though coming up,
Yeah,
right?
we got 2 more, which is exciting. So
Right.
usually our last home match is the last match of the season, but we still got Bowdoin and Williams. So I'm super excited for those. I think we can do some damage and really come out strong against them.
Well, Bowdoin, another rival. I mean, Colby, a rival, obviously. What are those matches like maybe compared to others?
Oh, they're so fun because way to clinch. They're super fun because there's that extra kind of level of, we need to beat the other main schools. Colby's definitely always a fight, and I'm really proud of the way that the team fought today because the matches were close and it could have gone either way, but everyone stepped up.
The Bates men's club ice hockey team just got back from a trip to China over spring break. Their 3 captains fill us in on their experience competing halfway around the world. Bob Sue, Morgan Dewdney, and Ned Moreland with us here on the Bobcast talking about the club ice hockey team's trip to China. Bob, you were the mastermind behind this. You were the organizer. How did this come to be?
I think everything started from last year from the Bobcast venture. So I started up with this idea to bring the Bates men's hockey club to China to play a friendly match with some university in China. But after the venture program, I spent some time in Beijing during the summer with the Winter Olympic Committee. And there are some advisor gave me advice to create a international college tournament. So I started to connect with some teams from Korea, Japan, Finland, and Kazakhstan, and Russia, and Belarus. And so I think everything come together this year at January, and we got 8 teams, including our Bates men's hockey team, to form this international tournament. So also we got sponsors and just everything together, and then we start to do our visa and everything just come together, and we went to this tournament on April 13th after our finals.
Awesome. So all 3 of you played hockey growing up and everything. You grew up in Beijing. How did you first get into the sport?
So I actually started up skating in a shopping mall in downtown Beijing. I think it's a very Asian thing that the ice rink are building some shopping malls. And then I joined a youth club and then started playing hockey. And I've been to some tournament in Canada. It's called Bell Cup. And I spent some summer in summer camps in Baltimore. And after I think elementary school, there are not many club exist anymore in Beijing at that time. So I joined a private club that we competed in some not really professional league in China, but like after that I was selected to the U18 team in China, and we played in the Estonia-Tallinn IIHF games. And I think after that I applied to Bates, and afterward I was playing in Bates club team with these guys.
I'm curious how you arrived at Bates, how you decided you wanted to come to Bates for college.
2 reasons. One is that my counselor gave me the idea of Bates and liberal arts college, and the second reason is that I came to Bates for a campus tour, and I really like the environment and the students and the culture here. So that's why I chose Bates.
All right, let's bring in Morgan here. You're obviously on the varsity soccer team, and you also got the opportunity to play club ice hockey during your time here at Bates. This experience to China, I mean, this must be at the top of the list of some of the most great experiences you've had so far in school, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think, playing soccer and playing club hockey, playing both of those, I think that's one of the reasons why I like Bates so much, is because it gives me the opportunity to compete at the varsity level playing soccer, and then also switch it up a little bit halfway through the year and then play club hockey. So I'm just really fortunate. It's so nice because, obviously have all my soccer friends and then coaches there, and then obviously have this whole kind of new realm of all like the hockey players. So really fortunate to have that. But yeah, this trip to China has been absolutely crazy, and I had no idea that it was actually going to happen. And so it was an unbelievable experience. And yeah, I just never thought it was going to happen.
And then I understand that it didn't really hit you. You're going to China until like about 2 weeks out, right?
Yeah. So the one moment I'll never forget is we're all sitting in the locker room before practice, and Bob comes in with a stack of visas. And everyone takes a look at their passport and they're wide-eyed. And so after that moment, and when that moment hit, I said, all right, boys, we're going.
Bob, what did you tell these guys what to expect? I mean, you having grown up there and everything.
So I've been telling them stories in China and Beijing, and also my stories playing hockey in China. And I think one of the reasons I want to bring all of those guys, my teammates, to China is to actually let them to know more about China, and also where I grew up playing hockey was. So that's what I really expected, and I think everything come together this time, and they really get a sense of what it is in China and what is the hockey development in there.
And Morgan, I understand the team did get a chance to, do some sightseeing, if you will. What were some memorable places you were able to go to?
Yeah, I think my favorite place was probably the Great Wall. I've never been to China or Asia before, and seeing the Great Wall was just unbelievable. We got to walk. I have no idea how long we walked, but we walked a pretty fair amount, and we could just see sort of everything around the Great Wall, and it was great. And it was really cool because it was really foggy and misty too, so we sort of got the whole ambiance was great. So I think the Great Wall was probably my favorite place, as well as just, I'm not sure the name, maybe, is it like the Silk? What's the other one? Yeah, was that the one with like the shops?
So we did visit a marketplace, which I think is what Morgan's referring to, and that was Silk Street.
Okay.
Silk Street,
Yep.
And I think that was awesome just because you also got to see the more pop-up shops, and so shops that have been around for hundreds of years. And if you think of contextualize it, those some of the shops are 500 years old. Well, America has only been around since 1776. Right. So seeing these shops that have multi-generational families were pretty incredible.
How about the level of competition you guys face? Pretty intense, right?
Yeah, so one thing to recognize is that the university hockey system it operates differently in different countries, right?
Yeah.
So we have a team such as the Finnish team where it was a conglomeration of 6 different universities. Or you have something like Bates College, which is a conglomeration of just one college. And so what we really found was that we were competitive for stretches of these games, but other teams were just very, very talented. Guys have been playing together for a while. They were older in some cases. In one case, we played one team where our seniors on our team would have been the youngest players on the other team. So there was a lot of different factors to consider.
Awesome. And Morgan, I'm curious, Ned mentioned that you guys, obviously were just Bates. Were there any other United States teams there, or was it just the Bobcats?
No, so it was just us representing the United States. And that was something I think that we were all taken aback when we got there. We saw, next to Bates College it says Team USA.
It's like Mighty Ducks.
Exactly. And so we always referred to it as like the Miracle on Ice or like the Mighty Ducks, and it was sort of all the build up. We talked about it a lot, and then when we actually got there, that's pretty much what it was. And I actually had a friend who was studying abroad in Beijing. And he was able to come to one of the games, and he's fluent in Mandarin. So he was telling me that the announcers and all the chants were saying Team USA, and they kept referring to us as that. So a pretty surreal experience, and just really cool to have that honor.
Bob, from a logistical standpoint, did it all go off without a hitch pretty much?
There are a lot of works being done between me and the organizer. We've been communicating a lot, and I think we did a pretty good job to put this tournament together for the first time ever, because this tournament is, I think it's the first ever international college tournament in China. Mm-hmm. So it means a lot to China and also China hockey, and I think they're going to make it the next year. So I really hope that we can go on this further with the Bates hockey and also this tournament.
You all seniors?
We're all seniors.
Okay,
yeah.
So
we hope to give some legacy in this program, and also to let the Bates hockey team to be in this tournament for the future.
Do you have post college plans in your mind right now or anything?
I'll probably go to grad school, but not sure yet. But I would definitely help on with this tournament and make it more legit in the future, and just in general, yeah.
Yeah, Morgan, are you excited to see where this thing goes, kind of?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think Bob has talked about the possibility of having Bates back at the tournament. Yeah. And I think that would be a really great opportunity for the program. But I think it's also really great for China as a whole. I think that, we aren't professionals, but I think it's still exposing China and the Chinese people to hockey, and maybe at a more accessible level than the professionals. So I think that, this tournament, this was the first year that they did it, but I think that it's sort of really important in sort of popularizing hockey in China.
So Ned, is the season for you guys wrapped up? Do you have more games on tap?
We're all wrapped up officially, so just tying loose ends here. Yep. But this was definitely one huge way we could cap it off.
Yeah, no kidding. Maybe besides this, which was probably the highlight of your time at Bates in terms of from a hockey perspective, what else has really stood out to you during your 4 years?
What's really stood out to me is the way that I've been able to connect with a wide range of people and really the diverse campus, right? So we talk a lot about, well, I work in admissions outside of hockey, and we talk a lot about, what does it mean to go to Bates? Well, what it really means is engaging in projects like this, being able to take something from scratch and really making it something huge and something massive, but also something meaningful, right? What this tournament really represented to me was how the Bates community is really great at connecting with different cultures. Politics aside, right? So politics aside, we were with the Russians, we were with the Chinese team, and if you looked at a political newspaper, you'd say like, oh, you shouldn't be friends. But when we were on the ice, that wasn't the case, and I think that it was just a great opportunity to really connect with different cultures.
And Bob, do you see it the same way, kind of in terms of a great kind of outreach between these two countries?
Yes, definitely. So I think there's two really primary goals for this tournament. The first one is to create a warm environment before the 2022 Winter Olympics for Beijing. And also the second reason is to bring all these countries together, to know each other in college level and to understand each other besides a lot of conflict in the world trade, I would say, and also to let students to become friends together and get some connections through this tournament.
Terrific. Well, before we go, just any other thoughts each of you wanted to share on the trip? We'll start with Ned. Go left to right here.
Yeah, so if there's just one word I could use to describe the trip, it would be amazing. I'm definitely extremely grateful, and I hope that Bates, we can do it again.
Yeah, definitely. Just to reiterate what Ned said, really fortunate to be able to go on this trip, and it was great from a hockey standpoint as well as sort of a cultural one, and seeing kind of the sights of China. And I also just lastly want to I think Bob kind of downplays his whole role in this tournament. He was the initiator of it. This was his idea, and seeing it sort of all come together in China. I mean, everything was so official, from getting into the country with customs to transportation. We never had to wait for anything. It was all sort of figured out. All of our meals were planned perfectly. Even after the tournament, when we were sightseeing, everything was planned to a T. And I think that's just a testament to how much effort Bob put into this. And I mean, it was an unbelievable experience. So I think it was really worth it.
And Bob, any other thoughts you wanted to share?
Yeah, so first of all, I really appreciate all the trust from my teammates, the school, and also the administration people. I really thank to all the trust. And also I would really thank you for Paul Marks, one of our Bates trustee, been teaching us a lot through this process and being really supportive on this whole idea. I just been really appreciative to all of these people, and I hope that I can put this whole program further on and to give more legacies to Bates hockey team and also the students here.
The men's lacrosse team fell to Amherst and Tufts last week, but the Bobcats are still in a strong position, ranked 14th in the country with an overall record of 9-4. Bates hosts Colby Wednesday at 4 p.m., and then the Bobcats will compete in the NESCAC tournament quarterfinals on Saturday. After also falling to Tufts and Amherst, the women's lacrosse team is ranked 23rd in the nation with an overall record of 8-6. The Bobcats are at Colby Wednesday, and they too will compete in the NESCAC quarterfinals on Saturday. We'll recap those matchups, plus big weekend NESCAC East Series for the baseball and softball teams, and much more next time on the Bates Bobcast.